Welcome back to our third and final installment of this short season of the Worship Catalyst podcast. Now, before we get started, did you know that the podcast is not all we do with Worship Catalyst? This ministry has been around since 2007, helping train worship leaders and pastors all over the world. We also have a lot of free resources and a short list of paid ones, all available at worshipcatalyst.com. All right, so we've been talking to the one and only Jaren Mooring in these past few episodes, and today we are going to be talking about the important role of engaging the congregation as a worship leader. It's not okay just to sit back and sing songs and not engage with the crowd, right? You got to actually have a conversation with the congregation.
Yes.
Yeah. That's best anyway.
Yes.
Most of the people that I see lead worship honestly struggle with this.
That's me.
Yeah?
It's not my favorite. I don't like talking in front of people. I'll get up and sing all day long.
Do you like talking not in front of people?
I'm usually a pretty quiet fella, I think. I just like to sit and watch.
Okay.
But I am one of those that has to work at, connecting this song with that song. And how do I do that?
Okay.
How can I do it in a few seconds?
I want to get into your process on that big time. But before we do, how do you know your congregation is connecting with God? If that's because we're like, okay, we always talk about this, but we'll say it for the 4 millionth time. We want to go to God and bring other people with us to God when we lead worship. And so what are you looking for to go, man, I think people are connecting right now versus not connecting?
Yeah, it can be difficult because I think part of it's not my place to be able to judge that. I can
look into your heart.
Yeah. And so, on a Sunday morning, you look out and, one of the gauges is, are people just swaying? Are they just moving to the music? And it might just be mumbling just a little bit, the words. Ideally, you just want everybody with hands lifted and people running up and down the aisles.
Right.
And, all sorts of...
Cartwheels.
Yeah. That's a great gauge, but, just looking out and just seeing, are people connected? Are they singing this with their eyes closed? Can you look at their face and tell...
Yeah.
I trust in God, my Savior.
Yeah.
Are they meaning what they're singing? Are they connecting that way? So it's a little bit different because everybody's different. You get some guys that just stand there, hands in their pockets, and just kind of sitting there, reading the words, but they'll come up to you on a Sunday morning and be like, "Man, that was really good. Thank you. You guys did a great job."
Yeah.
And I would have had no idea by the look on your face that you were praising the Lord, in that song, so.
Yeah.
Looking at just movement, I think, just even if it's just a little sway, are people singing it loud?
Yeah.
We're a congregation, we get to sing it together, which is a beautiful thing, you get an hour a week, 20 minutes on a Sunday to sing together. That's powerful.
So 20 minutes, man, that is not long in 168 hours a week that you get to actually, and that's crazy to think about, right? Like that there's a full-time job for 20 minutes a week, So, but let's just talk about that 20 minutes because you said it's challenging for you to even want to say anything. So what is your preparation process where you're like, okay, these are our songs. I want to get up there and I want to go to God, take other people with me. What do you do to get ready for that?
Yeah, it's looking through the lyrics. When we're at the end of a band rehearsal, one of the things we do is we say, read through these lyrics. What's the Lord showing to you? Why is He showing this to me? I need to hear it for a reason. He's showing it to me. And who in the congregation can learn from it? Who needs to sing this? Who can benefit, from singing this, even if they don't want to, because they're in that place in their life. So looking through those lyrics and saying, okay, God, what are you showing me in these songs that we're singing?
Yeah.
And how can I help, make that easier for a congregation to understand? To looking at that and lining it up with the Scripture. And we're not just singing words that are pretty. We are singing theologically rich lyrics here. And helping tie that in, just make it as second nature as possible. So for me, not liking to talk in front of people, I'll have to, write down a script or type it up and then just shorten it, and just go over it over and over and over again, because I'm not a talker,
Yeah.
so doing it in front of people, reading in front of people, it's not my thing, so I'm just practicing, knowing that I'm doing it for the Lord, so it needs to be the best that it can be.
All right, so you spend time with the lyrics. You're asking God, what are you saying here, and what do you want to say to our crowd? You're writing it down. You functionally write down what you want to say,
or at least some variation,
like
of
an
it,
outline or something,
Yeah.
or bullet points, and practice it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. There's so many people that don't practice that. So do you practice it out loud in front of a mirror? Like, what does that look like?
Both. I'll practice it in the mirror, because it's funny. One of the things I do almost every Monday is I watch a live stream and just make sure that I'm aware of what I'm actually doing, because if it might feel like I'm going over the top with facial expressions or something. I watch a live stream, I'm like,
I didn't even,
I didn't do anything.
I look boring.
So,
right.
But I'll practice it in the mirror and make sure, that I don't look like an idiot, for starters. But, just in the mirror, in the car, just driving to pick kids up from dance, or, just knowing like, hey, this is second nature to me. I'm not trying to remember what it is, because I don't want to be a distraction. So if the more I can practice and limit a distraction for somebody in worship, then I want to do that.
I love the fact that you practice that in front of a mirror to see what you look like. So, and then you also watch yourself to review every week on a Monday. Mm-hmm. Is that painful sometimes?
Oh, I hate it. I hate hearing my voice. I hate every aspect of it.
I'm so bad at this.
Yeah. Like what?
I'm firing
what are they
myself.
Thinking? They hired me. No. But yeah, just how can I get better at what I'm doing? And I think if you take your job seriously, then we're, like I said, we're doing this for the Lord. So why would we not want to do the best that we can?
Yeah, man, that's such a good perspective. There's these tools that we can use sometimes when we're communicating, right? We can talk and just like connect song to song, or we can like tell a story, or we can read scripture, or we can pray. There's all these tools, right? Mm-hmm. What is like a go-to for you that's like maybe the most used tool of talking to the congregation?
I have a lot of like pocket phrases. You talk about pocket phrases. So we're singing this together. Let's declare this. Mm-hmm. Let's sing this straight to the Lord.
Yeah.
Just to help the congregation understand the lyrics. That we're singing. I know a few weeks ago we were singing a song, and it was talking about how exciting heaven is going to be. And I'm looking out and I'm like, y'all don't look excited at all. Let's sing this. Like, this is what heaven looks like. We're singing this together. It's exciting, and
did you tell them they didn't look excited?
I absolutely did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, did you?
It got a little better. I think it was probably forced on them, but just help put it in perspective.
You guys hate heaven.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, y'all are going to be miserable.
Yeah, you're not even going to go. None of y'all.
Yeah, but that's like we get to sing this together.
Yeah,
like there's something special about being able to sing this to the Lord together. I can sing in my car all day long, but there's something special about doing it with the congregation. And going back to practicing, and you want to make sure that it's good. You don't want it to be that distraction for somebody.
Yeah. So do you feel like your band? So like the kind of the responsibility of that we take on as worship leaders, right? The responsibility of the congregation connecting with God, and sometimes they can't because there's people that are not Christians, or there's people that are like hungover, or whatever the story might be, right? There's got a lot going on in life. It's hard for them to connect, and yet we take that responsibility on, right? Do you feel like, to what degree do you feel like the rest of your band and singers, or maybe that's two separate questions, but whatever, take on the responsibility of engagement from the congregation?
Yeah, I think our drummer's in like a little fish tank, so he's a little bit limited, to what he can do. But on a Sunday morning, we'll finish rehearsal, and before people start trickling in, the band's always kind of in a back little corner, just hanging out, talking, having a good time. And if I notice that sometimes, all right, everybody, we're going on a field trip. We're the greeters this morning. So I'll just pack up, and we're meeting people at the door and talking to them, and and I think that has a lot to do with it. You you can't lead people if you don't know.
Do you tell them to go do that, or do they just do it?
Yeah.
That's part of your rules.
Yep. It's not every time, but if it's, I'll look out and be like, oh, there's no greeters at the door. It's like, all right, field trip, let's go.
So everybody, let's do it.
It's walking through a wall coming in. Yeah. You get a row of greeters that, all have in-ears around their necks welcoming you. And then you get about 30 feet and there's another row of them, hey, welcome.
Do you know that I've been to your Sunday services twice, and both times I made it all the way to a chair without anybody greeting me?
It wasn't the band. Church had already started, I guess.
No,
You were late?
No, I come early to, watch and see what's going on.
Yeah.
I think I came too early.
I'm sorry. Maybe so.
I think that's what it was.
Did you come to the early service or the later service?
I have no idea. I'm guessing later.
I'll get
if
on
it's
that.
me.
I'm not in charge of first impressions.
I think I told your pastor that, because I think he asked about my experience, and I was like, it was an awesome experience. I didn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was better.
It's my kind of church.
I appreciated, because it's overbearing sometimes to get hit 9 times by somebody before you walk in the door.
Yeah, but making a connection with the people that we're meeting is so important, I think.
I've always thought that was the best thing, is for the band to be the greeting team, and the singers and stuff, because I think there's something about like the green room culture where it's like, we come in from behind and then we leave. And it's like, who are those people?
You don't ever see them.
But if they come up, like you're having a conversation, they're like, oh my gosh, there's only 10 seconds left. I got to go play this song. Then it's like, oh, those people actually care.
Yeah.
And so I'm more willing to follow them.
Yeah. One of the things I think that helps us is I think just about everybody on the team is involved somewhere other than just
another
worship.
ministry in the church.
We've got, somebody will lead a connect group, or, somebody is, working in student ministry, or so there's connections already there. But I think too many times we get in our own little pockets, and it's too easy to not go say hello to somebody that you've never really seen before, or that, you thought might have been here the week prior.
Yeah, yeah. So for the band and everybody, including you, y'all go greet and do everything on Sunday morning just to be out there talking, even if it's unofficial greeting.
Yeah,
sometimes,
not every Sunday do I say, hey, let's take a field trip to the lobby. But yeah, I mean, I encourage everybody, like, get out and go talk to somebody.
Do you know that there have been bands that I've led in churches where we had 2 rules for the band and the singers, and the first one was you weren't allowed to talk to other band members and singers on Sundays, because that was for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had to be out there. Okay. Like, I want you to be late getting on the stage, because I want every single person to be connecting. And the second rule is a 10-minute rule. And the 10-minute rule was you can't start packing up your gear for at least 10 minutes after the service. You got to get out there and start talking.
Yeah, it's really easy to get into that. All right, we're done. I've been here since 7:30 in the morning. It's
ears
noon.
off.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Let's just pack up and go home. Yeah. It's really easy to do that, and not even know that you've fallen into that habit.
So other than the Sunday morning thing where you're out, talking to people and stuff, and I know you probably more than everybody else, because you just do it all the time, unless you're in the bathroom, getting all your head straight. Episode 1. What are some other ways throughout the week or the rest of your time that you try to build connections with the congregation for that same purpose?
It's making phone calls. One of the things we do at our church, I love it, is we have a senior adult lunch once a month for all of our senior adults, and the staff gets to serve them.
Oh, nice.
So just being able to sit at a table with 7 or 8 senior adults, and just get to know them.
I love it.
And just you sit there and talk, and a lot of them have really cool stories, and they've lived very full lives, and if I can get to know them and they can get to know my heart, and it might not be the style of song that they prefer, but if they know my heart behind why I chose it, I think it helps put it in a different perspective. I know with me, looking at why a song was written and the story behind a song, it helps put it in perspective, and it just makes it that much more special to me. So if I can do something similar to people, so that's one of the things that we do that I personally enjoy, is just being able to spend some time with them and just sit and serve and let them know that they're still there and seen and appreciated and valued. And just, making phone calls. We go through in staff meeting, we pray for prayer requests in person. So, if I pray for so-and-so, I'm going to write them a handwritten note, and we're going to drop it in the mail that afternoon, so they'll have it, and they know, like, hey, Jaren prayed for me. this week because I put this on a card.
That's so good, man.
Just putting yourself out there. We've got a single mom on the team whose son is extremely involved in Cub Scouts and stuff like that, and just taking some time and just go watch a school play.
Oh, that's good,
and
man.
just
Yeah.
like that's it's meaningful.
It is.
It's fun. And it's something a little different, and it's showing people like, hey, I care about you.
Yeah.
And I thank you. That's how you connect with people.
Man, that's probably more natural to you than getting up on a platform.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it, man. Like my dad is 5. I don't know how old he is. He's turning 85 soon, like in the next month. And he has been he's the music minister of his church.
Still.
Isn't that amazing?
That's awesome.
So he's been in worship ministry since he was like 18 years old, right? So he's like...
You should have him on the podcast.
He knows... Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think I will. That's a great idea. Remember that, Nicole. So we might have to take a field trip to Texas to get that done, but hey, we can do it. One thing I learned... This is just kind of a side story, but I think it makes the point. So when he retired from his church, the church where he had served for 30-something years, and this was 25 years ago when he retired. He's been worship leader in like 4 churches since then. But when he retired, he was given like some gifts and this and that and the other. And there was like some sort of, envelopes or whatever. So he opens up this one and there's a check in there for some amount. I don't remember what it was. And he goes, look at this check. And he showed it to me. And I was like, yeah, what about it? And he goes, do you know why this person gave me this check? And I went, no. He goes, because I went and sat with his wife in the hospital like 2 or 3 times a week for 6 months.
Wow.
That's why he wrote me this check. It has nothing to do with the fact that I was the music minister of the church.
Yeah.
And honestly, when it's all said and done, I doubt people remember a whole lot about our stage presence. They remember, I really believe, man, like what drives the way they feel about us doesn't have to do with our music.
Yeah.
It has to do with our life that we live around them. When Paul writes about it, he's like, yeah, we gave them the word of God and ourselves, So that seems to be more like the music part of it is such a small sliver, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the rest of our lives is building the credibility to be able to take somebody somewhere in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's work. It's fun. It's a blast.
Yeah.
But and it's a huge responsibility.
It is. And if your calling is to the stage, there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's got to be to the people.
Yep.
And to serve them.
Yeah. It's being able to make those connections and just cut time out of your day, take a phone call after hours, call somebody,
yeah,
and just being able to minister to them and to feed and to pour into them.
Yeah.
That does speak way louder than how tight a band is.
So how much does song selection play into your, kind of how the congregation responds and connects with God?
What I would like is stylistically doesn't matter what we do. We can go, Gaither's gospel anywhere up to the newest, newest Brandon Lake or Maverick, and anywhere in between.
Yeah,
I ideally get past the style of it and get to the words that we're singing.
Yeah, man.
The reality is, it's not going to happen.
Ideally,
I'm like that. It's human nature. You like what you like, and you don't like what you don't like. But trying to get over that hump is big, and it's turning a cruise ship.
So do you listen to your crowd, like speak back, like you just always listening for what they like and what they don't like?
Yeah, there are songs that are sung louder than others for sure.
Right.
And it varies. Is one thing that I think is, it speaks to our church in particular is it's not really a particular style, necessarily. So I think we are turning that cruise ship, but it's a cruise ship. It ain't a jet ski, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into it, looking at songs that are theologically sound, can they be sung congregationally?
Yeah.
Is this a congregational worship song? Is this a vertically, are we singing this horizontally? Are we singing this? And how easy is the melody? There's a lot that goes into it theologically. Where does it sit?
Yeah. You've got multiple people on the stage singing, right?
Yeah.
On a Sunday. Do you spread the lead singing around to various people? And I know you do, because I've seen that. I've seen you do that. So do you think that matters in terms of how people engage and connect with God? Are you seeing a difference in some of that?
Yeah, you don't want me to sing "Bless God."
Okay.
Some people just do better at things than others, and
right.
I can recognize that Mindy's going to do a lot better job singing and leading this song than I'm going to. If it's in a key that she can sing it in, the congregation's going to be able to do it. If I'm singing it, ain't nobody singing it. It's going to be either way too high or way too low, and and I think that goes back to like, oh yeah, I see her on the stage every Sunday, but I also know her.
Yeah, right.
And who can serve the song better? I couldn't care less if I'm the one singing lead every single song. I don't want to sing lead every single song, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But giving them a responsibility, get the team to a place where I can take a Sunday off.
Right.
And I feel comfortable taking a Sunday off and, going on vacation with my girls and not have to worry about that. So, let's learn, let's do it together and, move forward that way.
I love it. It's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. And when I've seen your church and I've been able to sit in the congregation after not getting greeted on the way in, I have noticed, and even filling in for you one time, I have noticed that there is a good chunk of people that do seem to really want to connect with God. You know what I mean? And in some church cultures, that is so challenging, but you guys are fostering that in a strong way. So I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and what you do, and not only on this episode, but on the previous ones too, and kind of opening up your life a little bit. Any last word that you would give to a worship leader out there that, just something that's like, this is really important. You need to know this about anything in the world. Anything on your mind?
I don't know. I know you guys are doing great stuff with Worship Catalyst. We've had the conversation before. I'm greatly appreciative of everything that you guys are doing and our relationship as well.
Yeah.
And so if you're having questions about it or want to know more about it, absolutely get in contact with them. And I think just going to God and taking other people with us. We use that so much. At the church, especially when a rehearsal doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Hey, it's over with. We're going to God and taking other people with us, and just staying in the Word, staying encouraged. Find somebody to be able to share your problems with.
Yeah,
another worship leader where you can just kind of vent to if you need to. We're selfish, I think, in a lot of areas, but we all need somebody else that we can look to and learn from. So find that person for sure.
That is true, man. Well, thanks, bro. Thanks for being with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And thank you again for joining us for this season of the Worship Catalyst podcast. Our next season is already well in the works. We've already been working on it, and we'll be discussing a growing trend in churches across the United States and a constant reality in churches in other countries. We'll talk to some of them too, and that is singing songs and leading worship in multiple languages at the same time. Maybe you've thought about this or you do this. Well, keep following us on our socials at Worship Catalyst, and we'll be back with that season very soon. Now, before we go, I want to thank our engineer, Nicole Palos, and our audio engineer, Garrett Garner. These two work tirelessly to make this podcast a reality year after year. Also, consider, we asked this before, but consider becoming a patron of the ministry here. You can do that very easily at worshipcatalyst.com/give. And set yourself up to become a partner to make this happen. But we love you, we appreciate you, and we'll see you at the next season very soon. Blessings.